Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, sweet citizens of London and the rest of the world. We take you once more under the cover of night to Requiem for London. And what a dark night it is. The sky is filled with clouds. The lights from the city illuminate the storm-like texture as they roll apathetically overhead. The noise can reach young Chester Hill, even as he stands on the rooftop, overlooking the vast city around him. Off in the distance, the Shard dominates the night sky, and its piercing of the heavens comes across to Chester like a great tower of old. The lights around the Shard are very bright, and it seems to glow a silvery sheen against the dark night. Off in the distance, too, he can make out the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral, and he remembers the last time he went around there, possibly even remembering back to the last time he stayed there in a life that was his, but no more. What goes through the Deva's mind as he looks over the city? The smell of his cherished one still fills his mind. He knows the scent leads out of the city, but to where, he does not know. And with everything that he has seen while in London, he is beginning to doubt that he would be able to survive the journey into the hunter's lair alone.
Chester, looking at the cathedral, thinks back on. Now he's starting to think back of his sire, how she was the only kindred he ever really worked with when it came to fighting. He thinks of how he now has to contact the kindred he has met in this city and get them to help him. Some will be harder to convince, but others, like maybe Mr. McGee, might enjoy taking up such a challenge. As he thinks of that and stares at the city, he loses track of time and waits for something he doesn't know himself.
As his thoughts move to those he has met in the city, those he might consider fondly about as allies, if not acquaintances. Elsewhere on the rooftops, another kindred stalks, but what he seeks, he does not quite know. He has found himself wandering recently, ever since a visit to an old friend of his from a long time ago. More than ever, so many questions has filled his mind, and he finds that running the rooftops seems to clear it. The wind shifts and he picks up a familiar scent. He smelled the scent before. Chester, would you please describe that iconic and patented Chester Hill aroma?
Chester Hill smells like a mixture of different perfumes, not all of them women's. Butcher McGee can smell the mixture of few different female perfumes, and also something more wild, something that he knows can relate to someone that fights. He can smell that in often running in a kind of a heat thing. It's not always it's a something Butcher quietly recognize. Or that makes a bit of female perfume. It's something that's unique to.
Okay. I'm going to describe. I'm going to describe McGee is, yes, he's exploring. He's just running from something. Not sure what. He's jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Usually he does this to hunt. He does this to find easy prey, but he's constantly doing this. And yes, he'll pick up this hint, this whiff in the air, and it's the effeminate perfume. It's that the very quite strong lady odor. And I guess to describe it, we kind of rule-wised it that he always picks up a hint of a kindred, and it's a smell in the manner that they were embraced is their natural odor. And I don't know what Chester Hill, what he smelt of when he was embraced, incense odor. If you want to fill that in, Nelson, or
When he smells, do you think he can smell? When Chester Hill, he was embraced. He was in an old mansion, so he has that old wood that's been just laid there and forgotten. That smell comes to him. And there's also the smell of blood because of the violence that took on when he was.
oh, okay. He'll pick that up and he recognizes Chester's smell. It's that smell of old wood and Victorian wood floorboards and blood, and that distinctive potency it gives off, that distinctive sweet yet bitter odor, and he recognizes it. And instantly he's curious as to why this individual's about. And he knows because of the breeze, because of the wind, he knows this individual's standing high up, and then he knows he's standing on a building. And he will jump from building to building, and he's going to try and sneak up on Chester. Again, because it's just... Alright, fair enough.
Give me one last wits plus composure for smell. Because
okay.
It is a dark night filled with all kinds of predators. And who knows what else might be on the air to smell.
Because... Okay, I'm going to do a few things. Because of acute senses, he pluses his blood potency to his wits roll involving smell or senses, and he's going to use animalism to enhance his nostrils.
Very nice.
In the manner of a boar, his nostrils grow very pig-like, very long snouts, pig-like manner, and that pluses 2 to his blood potency in regards for smell and taste. I think it just expands the range to which he smells, so it won't add any dice. So it's going to be wits plus composure. That's just 2.
Yep, no minus because of the extended range too.
Yeah. And plus 2 because of the acute senses. So it's got a few dice. Just the 2 successes.
Oh, that's still more than enough. As you smell, you also smell a very cheap perfume, something that you did not recognize with good Chester Hill smell, something that somebody would pick up at like a local drugstore, something very cheap, very pungent, a very iconic smell, but mixed in with that you will smell ash, burnt ash. Maybe even a bit of soot, even.
Is this coming from the same direction as
Um,
Chester's smell, or?
because of your acute senses, you detect that it is somewhere around, near the scent of Chester, but not quite near enough yet. If you take a
Hmm.
pause, you might detect that the smell is getting closer.
I I'm going to describe it that McGee again. He's in this and very to describe him. He's climbing the building and he's got these claws, these kind of uh, yeah. His hands are turned into claws and he's got these kind of spikes emanating from his skin, which seem able to hook into the walls to climb. And his feet are quite extended with more claws in his toes, and his nostrils are filled out. And he's got this kind of hoodie on top and this big coat on to kind of hide his presence. And actually, he's on all fours. He's on all fours, sort of. I'm going to describe it that he's on the building kind of opposite Chester. No, opposite, next along Chester. And he's slowly kind of crawling, and he picks up the scent of Chester, but he picks up this other scent. So he's a bit, even more suspicious that something else cheaper. Someone else is there, but it's not a threat. Maybe one of Chester's blood dolls, one of his fancy women that he's heard of or seen of, and he's going to slowly approach closer. And this is why I'd like to do a stealth roll to see if he kind of sneaks in behind Chester. But he's going to have all of his animal attributes, which is the climbing, the smell, and the on all fours ability.
All right, in that case, I'd say that would be a... Since you're trying to sneak up a dexterity plus stealth.
Yeah,
Plus any
it's not.
specialities to specifically stalking or any
Uh, I forgot the.
camouflage?
No, I forgot the fact he does have extra anything stealth, so it's not. He's not great at stealth.
Mm.
Oh, hold on. I'm assuming this will be a composed roll against Chester.
Yep, Chester may make a wits plus composure.
Yeah, he's not very much. He's only got 3 dice, so it's not a lot. Okay.
Looks like Chester has 3 successes already.
Yeah. So McGee will try to slowly approach behind Chester in this very animalistic manner, but you can hear him. He jumps. He leaps from rooftop to rooftop, and as he lands, you hear the sound of the tiles loosening or falling, and you know he's there. You know he's there.
Chester will pretend he hasn't heard anything, and will let him get closer for now.
Ooh.
Another thing you will notice, McGee, as you approach, you will notice the smell has stopped. It is nearby, maybe like several rooftops down, but it has stopped advancing towards good Chester Hill.
As McGee notices, the other smell dissipates. He probably smells this all the time. You know, potent mixtures. Just assumes it's another kindred that's in a car or walking down the street. It happens a lot. But as he gets closer to Chester, and he's going to slowly kind of sneak up behind him, assuming because Chester's not moving, he assumes that he hasn't sensed him. And eventually, as he gets closer, he'll get up on 2 legs. His bones shift back into place as he gets up on 2 legs. The claws, the sort of spikes emanate from his skin, piercing his kind of coat that he's wearing, sort of go back into his skin. The pig-like nostrils kind of forge back into his face and resemble a normal human aspect. And he's got this kind of hoodie on top and this big coat. And he'll walk, and you'll just hear. I think after a while he'll deliberately walk behind Chester with the loud.
Actually, well, as Butcher McGee retracts or takes his claws, Chester will just bend his head and say, "Well, I'm glad you put those away."
Sorry, I didn't get that.
As Butcher McGee retracts his claws, Chester will turn to him and says, "Well, I'm glad you took it away.
No,
You put those away."
no.
So,
McGee will, a few moments will go by because McGee's still retracting his claws. He's still forging his animal. He's still forging to become human again, as it were. And he puts it back and goes, "Oh, so you noticed me then? Not as stealthy as I thought."
he'll smile and goes, "You might want to work on your end."
Admittedly, this is usually how I hunt the kind, but I'm a bit out of practice hunting kindred. I can smell you a mile away, but I'm not good at approaching you. What are you doing on my rooftops?
And he'll look around and go, "So I did not know you. I apologize. I am mere time to think."
Sorry, you lagged out quite a bit there. I might just turn off my camera for a brief moment. So what did you say?
Chester says, no, wait, sorry, what was it?
McGee just says, "Oh, what are you doing on my rooftops?"
Yes. He goes, "I did not know this area belonged to you. I apologize." And he'll smile and goes, "I am merely taking time to think."
Well, I must confess, this is not my territory, but mostly the gang will tend to roam the rooftops of London. But you are in your rights. You're allowed to stay here if you wish, feed. But I did notice you seem quite distracted. Just a bit curious.
He'll smile and goes, "There are things in this city that are kind of out." And he'll smile and he'll say, "Tell me, Mr. McGee, do you enjoy a good fight?"
Do I enjoy the fight, you say? I've been fighting my whole life. I love a good fight. It's a part of me. It's what I am. Never denied it. But we're different, aren't we? We enjoy the fight, but there's another part of us that seems to love it, as it were. Seems to fucking delve itself into it. I'm talking of the beast. I'm sure you're aware of it, yeah?
Yes, I understood what you were speaking of. What I am getting to is a proposal. There are hunters in this city, and I am looking for them.
Give me wits and empathy to determine McGee's reaction to that.
Empathy is, if you don't have it, is -1.
It is -1 if you don't have it.
So it's a normal one dice, but it's a normal dice.
So just just a normal dice. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you no contested. As soon as you say hunter, McGee kind of turns away, and again, it's quite dark. It's quite shadowy, but your kindred senses kick in. You can see in the dark, and you observe him. But there's a reaction. There's a reaction to the word hunter, and he seems to turn away from you as you say the word hunter, and it seems defensive. It seems protective. Not protective of hunters, but yeah, it seems defensive.
He'll smile and goes, I imagine you ran into at least one before."
Yes, I have run into one or two hunters in my time. Caused me much frigging trouble, much fucking issue. Look, I've no love of them. If you got hunter troubles, best thing I could say to you is avoid them.
If your smile goes, yeah.
So actually, as he says that, and because you've got the empathy roll, he will rub his upper right shoulder, and he rubs it as if like an old war wound.
And your
While
smile
this
goes.
is going on, though, David, would you please give me a...
Oh, I'm assuming wits and something.
Yes, 9 dice, please.
Oh, 9 dice. Okay.
Oh, yes, this is for me.
1, 2, 2.
2 successes. All right, very good. McGee can make a wits plus composure roll again, although he is a bit distracted. So I'd say -2 because you are a bloodhound. So
Q senses it pluses his. It says +2 to this dice roll. If you want to do a minus or
oh, it's only a -1.
Oh, it's only -1. So it's wits plus composure, which is 2, but -1, so it's 4 dice. No successes.
Oh wow, yeah, he must be very distracted by this. Chester may make a wit plus composure himself.
But -2.
-2 for you because it's the bloodhound negated one of the minuses for. Oh wow, that's still 2. So if you get one more, then you win. Oh
Fuck.
no! All right. In that
You
case,
can't up McGee. You can't up McGee.
Continue with the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, McGee. He raises his arm to his upper right shoulder and he sort of rubs it in a kind of a war wound way, and just goes, "Yeah, if you got troubles with hunters, the best thing I could say is avoid them. They're fucking pests."
Your smile goes, avoid them. Hunting them back is such a challenge for them. So smart making and say plus it would be payback for you.
Oh, when you say payback, McGee's eye kind of turns, and he's got the one eye looking at you. He's just like, payback, you say? That has interested me, yes. I do owe them a bit of fucking payback. I owe them a lot of fucking pain. Look, I'm not an idiot. I don't fucking track them down. I don't just openly fight them. I expect some plan. I expect leadership. I want to capture them. I want to torture them. I want to butcher them. I want to cut them up and sell them in sausages.
His mom goes, that is fine. You can do all that, and we will of course have a plan and leadership. There is one condition. There is one in peculiar, and this one will be to me.
One condition of the hunters. That's very interesting, young laddie. What is it?
His mom goes, they took my dear blood away. Taylor doesn't let that happen. And goes without some payment, and they'll pay.
McGee just laughs out loud and just does a big hefty laugh, just like a blood doll. You're doing all this for a bloody blood doll. Jesus, laddie.
Michelle's mom goes, oh, they took away.
Well, look, I won't question your motives if you're trying to find a blood doll. Quite easily replaced, I might add to you, but I'll help you. For the simple fact that I owe them a fucking debt. I owe them some fucking pain. But I'm not an idiot. I'm not just going to rush in there and be a bloody meat shield for you. I want to get in there. I want a plan. I want professionals in charge of this. Yeah?
Okay, so small goes, yes, don't worry. I wouldn't treat someone. I wouldn't treat another king with meat shield.
Yeah,
Especially one that I have with
give me presence and expression, I guess. Presence or performance, Ben. I don't know. This is how does he come across to McGee? I'm trying to gauge.
I'd say if Chester's trying to hide it, it would be manipulation plus empathy, because he's trying to make McGee think something very specific. He's not trying to just like impress a certain like, gosh, how do you describe it? It's you're being very specific with what you're trying to hide. If you were trying to like convey like a general feeling, then it would be more presence. While for McGee, I believe wits plus empathy or subterfuge, depending on whether or not you're trying
I would
to
say
reverse engineer it.
He's trying to manipulate McGee. He's trying to get him on board. He's not doing it for noble reasons. So, yeah, wits and subterfuge, just to determine how well you come across to McGee.
1, 2, 3, 2, and I can't see the last one. And 6. Nope.
No, wow, yeah. You say this, and McGee looks at you, and he's like, "Look, I've heard these fucking stories many a time from all kinds of young kindreds. I'm not going to fall into another bloody suicide pact just because you want your blood dole back. I want serious people on board. I want a plan. I want the proper execution and allocation of resources. And you know what? If you want me on board, you better owe me something for it. You better pay me something for it. I won't do it for free." He's changed a bit now. He's gone more on the mercenary tone. At first he was more about revenge, but now it's like, no, you pay me now. What do you want? What can you give me?
How small goes payment? What kind of payment were you thinking of, Mr. McGee?
Well, you are of the Carthian movement, I believe. You were chucked out. I'm not sure why. All kinds of rumours about that. But in this case, perhaps money or blood. Admittedly, I have had odd tastes recently. Access to your herd.
So small goes. Goes one peculiar. Is mine and mine only, but I have many little feet. Meaning, small guys, I have many little people I feed from.
No. I don't care about them. I want access to the one you want to rescue. I want to taste her. I want to feed from her. I want to see what she's like.
Small guys. What about the? You mentioned money. I'll rather pay you with that.
Oh, you can pay me money, but I think it could be easily resolved if she. She doesn't know. The individual blood dole we were rescuing, I could taste a bit from her. That's all I asked, just a little bit of a taste.
And it's about at that time that first McGee will smell it. The individual who was following Chester alongside you is now practically right behind you. They seem to have somehow scaled the walls, and you both, now Chester and McGee, will both hear the sound of footfalls and then a cane falling onto a rooftop not too far away from where you both are. And a voice that Chester will recognize, but McGee will not. Will sound out from the darkness saying, "My, I would be careful if I were you." The Deva only give out access to their beloved when it is the most dire of circumstances, and Chester will recognize, and to a lesser extent McGee, Bob Von Black standing on a rooftop farther away. In the darkness, Chester may squint his eyes as he looks a little bit different. He seems a lot older. No longer does he have curly hair. It is now sort of combed back in the silvers. He has lines that are clearly on his face, but he still smiles. He still wears the dapper, sober, over-exaggerated Victorian garb. There are several little gear buttons here or there, and he still has that cane with the dragon head at the very top of it. And he begins to walk, and almost effortlessly he propels himself in a great leap from the rooftop he is on to the rooftop that you are on, and again lands, and then with a tap of his cane balances himself and looks over McGee and then to Chester before taking that iconic top hat of his and bowing and saying, "I do apologize if I had disturbed you two. Just I was out for a midnight stroll myself, and let us say that I was a bit of a magpie and had to just see what was going on."
And Chester will smile at him and goes, Bob Van Black, I thought our kind didn't grow old.
It's like, oh, it is also very rude to remark about a guest's age. You best know I happen to be a master of many disguises. Which is the true face? Well, that would take away from the fun, would it not, my dear Mr. Hill? But I got a question for you. What on earth could you have told my good friend Mr. Graves to have him react so negatively to you at first? I just had to find out, and what the fuck would have it? Here you are. He will gesture, like, over-exaggeratedly at you.
As this is all occurring or happening, and Chester's having this rig, McGee is just going to like crouch back and do this kind of hissing action of, and just looking at Bond Van Black, and he knows, and Bond probably has had this reaction before, where it's just someone, a gangrel, doing his usual, I'm aware of you, I know you're there kind of pose, and just sort of bouncing his head back and forth. And McGee's going to be like this for a few minutes, so.
He will, again, he doesn't look at McGee, but McGee can tell that he's got him in his peripheral. Not only that, McGee can tell by the way he's standing that he is definitely ready to move in response if McGee tries to move or anything.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but the way he positions his feet, the place he puts his cane, the posture that he dons, it's very subtle, but somebody is familiar with combat as McGee will.
Could I give McGee an intelligence and ball?
Oh, yes, you may.
Just to determine the figure. He's only got 1 dot intelligence, but he does have 4 in ball, so he can potentially know. 1 success.
All right, what exactly was it that you were trying
just to determine his stance, just to determine his combat worthiness and his ability. McGee is trying to analyze. He's trying to work out, and I guess maybe this be composed against his manipulation.
Oh no, he's in a good mood tonight. He's
in a good mood. Okay.
He likes to think of himself as a teacher at times, except a more subtle one, so he'll reward the class for good efforts. Does Chester do the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, so Chester is more familiar with this, but McGee can recognize it too. The way he's holding his cane and the way his hand is positioned as he politely talks to Chester with very extravagant and over-exaggerated hand gestures. It looks like the way he's positioned his staff is that he uses that as his primary weapon. But from his stance, it doesn't look like he uses it as a bludgeoning weapon. Almost as like a slashing weapon of some kind.
Yeah. No,
almost like a fencer's stance, as it were.
McGee gets that, and he's familiar with Bond Van Black before, so he'll just continue very cautious, and he'll be in the background. He'll be listening, and be patient. But Bon Van Black will get the attention or the sense that McGee needs a bit of time.
And so he gives him his space as he has his attention firmly on Mr. Hill.
Actually, Chester will look at McGee and goes, "Now, Mr. McGee, no need to get defensive. On the
As Bob will sort of just raise a hand to quiet Chester and go, we cannot get mad at those we do not understand if we do not understand them as well. He could not possibly understand the loss you're going through, any more than we could understand what the little voice deep down inside of his heart is telling him right now." As he'll give a wink at Mr. McGee.
Yeah, McGee doesn't respond. He just does this.
And he'll smile and go, "I wonder if the voice inside him is telling him about the weapon you have hidden in your cane." And he'll smile.
Oh, McGee will grumble and go, I'm well aware of it. Does he?
Like good eyes, gentlemen.
Is he aware of the weapons I hold, though?
Well, that'll just be for you to find out, as he will say again with a most dapper of smiles. He'll then sort of just lean back against the nearest railing, still ready to use that hidden weapon of his if he needs to. He will say, "So, somebody has taken from you, dear Chester. I am truly sorry for your loss. As a member of Clan Deva myself, I understand truly and full-heartedly what it is to lose our beloved. If there's anything that I can assist with, within the realm of reason, mind you, do not hesitate to ask. After all, you are a member of our clan, and we stick together."
He'll smile and go as well. If you're up for a fight, I wouldn't mind having more people with me.
My dear friend, I would be happy to assist you in terms of resources and management, but alas, my particular job will require me to be at the peak of physical condition. If I was to go help you, it is possible that I might end up being wounded by, I'm going to assume, a rival, smart lover, a vengeful sire, something more. Oh, it doesn't matter. Your business is your business, after all. But I am too, shall we say, invested in my current line of work to endanger this top physical body of mine, as he gestures to his sort of old and wrinkly form. Muscles not taut, muscles not ready, but yet he still holds himself far more stronger than his now seemingly feeble body gives him credit for.
Understandable. I will take you up on that offer. See what you have. Well, see how you can help.
Well, for one thing, if you two gentlemen are willing, I might be able to help you out so that you can help me out. It is a shame you did not speak more to my dear friend, but I'm sure you are familiar with that little experiment he did, correct?
Yes.
Magnificent work, wasn't it? Just warms that cold, shriveled up heart of mine to see him at work.
Sorry, what experiment? McGee will just be like, what the hell are you talking about? What experiment?
I won't trouble you with the details, as he'll just sort of look at you and he says, "I think I have seen you before. Last Royal Elysium, was it?"
Yeah, it was a long while back when we had the old prince in charge, but yes, I was at that Elysium.
As he'll sort of take his hat off and put it to his heart and do a very mournful, yet still over-exaggerated bow and say, "Alas, sweet prince.
Oh, he was a
The road
cunt.
was long, though."
He was a cunt and a prick, and everyone knew it. And I think a lot of people are happier that he is past.
Well, the evil you know versus the evil you don't, am I right? Isil then showed a shrug. So it will be interesting to see how our beloved prince, long may he reign, governs the city now. He has certainly had a very lenient stance on, I believe it was your covenant. You were with good old John, weren't you? A delightful fellow. But I believe we are getting off topic here. I won't spare you two with the details, but what if I could infuse you with that eldritch mixture that Graves had invented, so that way we can have a field test. It would allow you to act in the daytime. It will shield you against the sun rays to an extent, allowing you to strike at your enemies when they would be most vulnerable. However, the process will be unimaginably painful, but it would give us a chance to do a bit of field test, and we would be very grateful for that.
You talking about going out in the sunlight? Are you joking, mate?
Oh, there are many secrets hidden within the blood. I'm assuming, Gangrel, you definitely have, mind no offense, the smell of one.
Nah.
Quite a lot of blood.
He just got out of that response. He's like, look, I know I'm not the most clever Kindred, but I know for one that going out in daylight is rather fucking suicidal.
Oh, not as much as you think. I mean, after all, some of our dragons and their friends just came back from a very successful daytime raid a few days ago. But look at me, the ever the magpie, chirping away, chirp, chirp, chirp. This would be different. We would be using our talents, allowing you to experience a heightened state of existence that would not entirely remove the curse of sunlight, but could suppress it or at least circumvent it for a time. Mind you, it will still hurt like the dickens, but it would allow you to go out in the daytime far easily.
McGee is actually interested. He's had all kinds of things, and he's all kinds of emotions and thoughts going through his mind. And it's a very long thought of he's not seen sunlight in a very long time. Very, very long time. So he is intrigued. He's intrigued. So he'll have a posture of just agreeing, nodding, and just be going. You seem to have his attention.
Well, of course, this will be to help in my dear friend and clanmate here's grievous problem. Just let me know when you're going to need to head off, gentlemen, and I can provide you with these modifications.
What's...
And he does say the word modifications like he had to think for a second how to word that properly.
Yeah, McGee gets suspicious. He goes, what modifications are you talking about? Wait a minute, what's in it for us for this daylight walk?
Well, for one thing, we get to test this out, which we had had very few volunteers recently, so you would be doing the Ordo Dracul a tremendous service. The second thing...
Okay, as soon as you say that, McGee raises an eyebrow. But carry on.
The second thing is that my friend Chester here, by having somebody take his precious ones, that person is insulting all of us. One does not steal from Clan Deva. Without consequence, of course. If people just heard that somebody could steal our herd willy-nilly, good heavens, it would be the end of everything. There'd be riots in the streets, bloodbaths in Elysium. Oh, you have not seen the anger until you have seen one of our clan who has been denied the touch of their lover, the sweet kiss upon their necks. Or more gentler places, mind you. It will not stand.
McGee's going to look at Chester. to determine his reaction to all of this.
Chester will nod along to, well, smile along to everything Bob said. And when he mentions paying, he said at the anger of the table, he smiles. A lot of people like to see our clan. A lot of people see our clan as pretty boys until they've seen us unleash fury. Then they become a lot more, and he goes a lot more careful about what they say about us and to us.
Oh, it is sad. But what can I say? We are the most beautiful of clans. It's easy to feel disarmed around a beautiful person. But the rose always has its thorns. The serpent has its fangs. The succubus has its claws.
And Gangle have their teeth.
I knew I made the right call on you, good chap. It is a shame we have not talked sooner. This has been quite delightful. If you are fascinated by these, shall we say, loopholes in the curse, I might ask you to come by the old London University. A friend of mine hosts lectures there. My friend Chester here can account for some of the experiments that have been on display.
I'm not one for those fancy intellectual talks. More about the understanding of the beast, the understanding of how things are, or how things should be.
Oh, you would get along swimmingly with some of our group in the College of London. But I am on a clock here, and there's so many things to do in a night, so as he pulls out this sort of very long, like, Alice in Wonderlandish watch from his pocket and clicks it open, you can actually hear the tick-tock, 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 and closes it again. I believe I must take my leave. Chester, I believe you still have my number, but I have not given one to you, my... Oh, gosh, I have been just the most rude person. Might I have your name, good sir? I am Bob Von Black. Officially Robert Von Black, but screw that. Bob Von Black is the name I shall be referred to as.
Oh, Nelson, man.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, Chester will just let
No, David, did you hear me?
Sorry, was you talking to Chester or McGee?
To McGee.
Ah, sorry, my bad. Okay, yeah, McGee will pause as you offer his card. Yeah, well, I thank you. I will take your card and feel free to come by McGee's and Son's shop in Smithfield Market. We can sort you out with some animal vitae for a cost, for a price, all for the good of the Carthian movement, of course.
Why, of course. It has been a while. I might sample some of the wares. Well, McGee, I take it. Chester, have a delightful evening, as he will his hat again, put it back on, and then effortlessly jump onto the rail and then off into the night.
McGee,
as he walks off, Chester will say, "Same to you, dear friend."
McGee. All right, McGee's going to do two things. McGee's just going to observe him just jump off, and he's actually going to get annoyed because this guy just effortlessly just jumps from rooftop to rooftop without any sort of effort involved. While McGee knows it's actually quite hard. You have to really put a lot of effort into jumping and into climbing. The second thing is McGee's going to roll intelligence and politics. And I don't think he has any dice in that, so it's going to be like a -3 dice. It's going to be a chance dice. He's going to roll chance dice. That's just determine this Bob Von Black character. No, it's just a fail. So he pauses and he's like, I don't know who that fellow is. I know he's a bit vicious. Like, I know he's part of the Ordo Draco, as he said. They're not nice people. They manipulate the blood. They fucking cause us pain and misery. So my best words is to avoid him, even if you're your clan blood. But it's your family. I won't get involved. Family is your own responsibility.
And Mr. Giard goes, I will consider your advice. You are older than me, and it is always good to answer to you. At least take, at least listen to the advice given by.
I've been around for a while, mate. But I kept myself to myself, and that's why I'm still alive, still running, as it were. A lot of the younger ones than me died when they tried to get themselves interested, especially with the Auto Draco. They fucking go through those types easy, burn through them. But if you want to go that way, go that way. I won't stop you. But in regards to your current situation, like I said, I'll help out. But for a taste, I want access to your herd. I want access to human vitae. Whatever they may be, not just a specific person. Any future herd I want access to. Does that sound alright to you?
He'll nod at him and goes, I'd rather pay you with money. If that's an option.
Yeah. Right. Money suits you, I'll accept it. But it's got to be a large amount. I'm not expecting loose change. I want everything you got. And I'm going to buy myself someone pretty with it, yeah? Someone tasty. Someone who likes sausages, if you know what I mean.
And he also goes, of course.
But if you give me the money, I'm your man. I'm your soldier. I'm not going to rush in like some idiot. I want a bit of a plan at least. I want some know-how. I want to know what I'm doing. And like I said, I'm not a bloody meat shield. I can hack a person or kind in two with one hit. But it's got to be the right person. It's got to be the right kind.
Just goes, of course, I won't. I saw how you fight, and I saw how you defend your territory. This deserves respect.
Oh, McGee would take like note to that. He actually raised an eyebrow in a happy way. Oh, well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Not many take value in their territory, value in their own purpose. But look, I've got to go off. I've got to sort something out with a sanctum now. Got to go up to the chapel, speak to the religious nutcases. But after that, I'm your man. Call me when you need. You got my number. And I'll hunt some hunters for you. For a price, of course. I expect that to be transferred to me first, before I turn up. In advance, as it were.
Okay, so understandable. I will.
And with that, McGee is going to sort of, as he points and says, "Oh, in advance." You agree? He goes, and it will turn, and you'll see he's got this big coat on with this hoodie, but you see him suddenly click and crunch and suddenly goes on all fours, and yeah, like some animal, some predator. It seems more heavy. It seems more boar-like, more pig-like, more mammal kind of form, and you see him just literally walking on all fours and then just jumping from rooftop to rooftop, like the Von Black figure, but less delicate, less effortless. There seems to be a lot more purpose, a lot more effort put into it. And he'll just continually jump from rooftop to rooftop until he fades off into the distance.
as Chester watches Mr. McGee leap, he'll just look away after a while and just descend from the rooftop from the fire escape and start moving away, starting. My cat bit my feet. So he'll start moving away back to the Chance Club.
The night is dark indeed, but much like the lights gleaming from the windows off of the Shard and from the street lamps, these few glinting lights in the darkness, these kindred spirits, make alliances, plan a counteroffensive, and prepare to take the fight to the hunters. But their prey is elusive, and the night is very long indeed. But for now, this is where we end our scene. Thank you all for watching, and have a lovely night.